are moments when the air shifts before your very eyes, though nothing moves. You feel it in the pit of your stomach, in the silence between heartbeats, in the whisper of something unseen curling around your days. It is not loud, it is not forceful, but it is there, waiting, swelling, pressing itself into the corners of your existence. It is the feeling that something is about to happen, not a small change, not a passing moment, but a shift so great, so undeniable, that it will turn the sky of your life from one shade to another. 7 days, that is all. 7 days between despair and deliverance. 7 days between the weight of the past and the promise of the future. It does not seem like much, does it? A single week, a mere handful of mornings and nights. But those who have felt the turning of the tides know that a day, just one, can hold the power to break chains that have shackled a soul for a lifetime. And if a single day holds such power, then what of 7? What of the movement of time, when it is not governed by the will of man, but by the hand of something greater? You have walked through fire. You have carried burdens that have bent your back, that have stolen the light from your eyes. You have pressed your palms together in the darkness, whispering words no one else could hear, and you have wondered, will there be an answer? You have counted the days, the hours, the minutes, and yet the door remained shut, the road remained blocked, the night remained long. But listen to me. Lean in close and hear the truth that has been waiting for you to be still enough, quiet enough, open enough to receive it. Your wait is almost over. The turning point is near. There are forces at work that do not slumber, that do not grow weary, that do not abandon their own. They see you. They have always seen you, not just the face you show to the world, not just the voice you use when you pretend you are strong. They have seen the nights you have not spoken of, the pain you have buried so deep even you have tried to forget. They have seen the way you have held yourself together when every thread threatened to snap, the way you have smiled with a broken heart, the way you have stood on shaking legs and called it courage. And now, in 7 days, the weight will begin to lift, the air will change, the road will clear. The answers that once felt a lifetime away will step forward closer than your own breath. Do you not feel it already, that stirring in your spirit, that trembling in the unseen? It is not your imagination. It is not wishful thinking. It is the trembling of change, of something breaking free, of something shifting beneath the surface where the eye cannot yet see. But let me tell you something. Change does not always come wrapped in gold. It does not always announce itself with grand gestures or dramatic entrances. Sometimes it comes like a whisper in the night, gentle yet undeniable. Sometimes it comes in the smallest of moments, a call, a chance meeting, a word spoken at the right time. And sometimes it comes in the shaking, in the breaking, in the unmaking of what was, so that something greater can take its place. So do not fear if the first signs of your 7 days look like a storm. Do not tremble if the earth beneath you quakes before it stills. There are doors opening for you now, doors that no hand can shut. There are chains falling from you now, chains you did not even know you were wearing. The tears you have shed in secret have not been lost. They have watered the ground beneath you, and soon you will see what has been growing in the darkness all this time. Soon you will understand why some things were delayed, why some paths were blocked, why some answers did not come when you thought you needed them most. There is a season for everything under the sky, and your season of waiting, of struggling, of barely holding on is coming to an end. Lift your head, open your hands. Prepare yourself, for what is coming is greater than what has been. What is rising is stronger than what has fallen. What is being given is more than what was taken. It is no accident that you are here. that you are hearing these words at this moment. There are no accidents in the great design of things. There are no coincidences in the turning of the wheel. What has been set in motion cannot be undone. What has been declared cannot be silenced. The days ahead will not unfold in vain. The light is coming. The doors are opening. The change is near. There is a whisper moving through time, threading itself into the very fabric of your existence. It has traveled through the winds of despair, through the echoes of prayers spoken and unspoken, through the sighs of those who have long since believed their hope was too frail to rise again. But what you must know, what you must grasp with every fiber of your being, is that this whisper is not an illusion. It is not a dream meant to tease the weary heart. It is the first breath of something new, the first tremor of walls about to crumble, the first flicker of light at the edge of a long and merciless night. You have waited, you have wondered, you have carried yourself through days that seemed endless and nights that stretched like an ocean of darkness. You have watched others walk through their seasons of joy, their moments of victory, and you have asked, when? When will it be my time? When will the weight lift from my shoulders? When will the road before me straighten? When will I see the breaking of the dawn that has been promised to me? And now the answer is stirring. Now the time is folding in on itself, bringing you closer, nearer, until the distance between you and the miracle that awaits you is nothing more than a breath, a heartbeat, a moment, wrapped in divine certainty. Do not be afraid of the movement. Do not tremble at the shaking of the old, for nothing that belongs to you will be lost. Nothing that has been written for you will slip through your fingers. What is meant for you has already begun to unfold, not in some distant place beyond your reach, but here, now, in the very space where you stand. Your name has been whispered into the wind, and all that was said against you will fall away like dust in the hands of the mighty. You see, change does not always arrive as we expect. Sometimes it is a gentle hand resting upon your weary soul. Sometimes it is the rush of an unyielding storm tearing down the barriers that have kept you bound. Sometimes it comes softly, tenderly, like the rising of the morning sun after a night of sorrow. And sometimes it comes with fire, with the force of an undeniable will that will not be questioned, will not be delayed, will not be stopped. But however it comes, it will come. However it takes shape, it will be for you, not against you. There will be those who doubt. There will be those who scoff at the idea of transformation, who sneer at the thought of change so swift, so powerful, that it defies the natural order of things. But you must not listen to the voices of the doubters. You must not let their disbelief shrink the vastness of what is being done in your life. Some people cannot see beyond what their eyes can grasp. Some people cannot believe beyond what their hands can touch. But you, oh you, must trust in the unseen, must lean into the knowing that does not require explanation. Only faith. You must prepare yourself, for what is coming will not ask permission to enter. It will not knock gently and wait for you to gather your courage. It will sweep through your life like the rush of a mighty wind. It will break chains that have been in place for generations. It will open doors you did not even know existed. And you must be ready to walk through those doors without hesitation, without fear, without looking back at the things that once held you captive. There will be those who will not understand your risings. There will be those who will question how one who has suffered, one who has struggled, one who has carried the weight of the world could suddenly walk into a season of victory. But do not waste your breath explaining. Do not waste your energy justifying the favor upon your life. Those who seek to diminish your breakthrough will not change its course. Those who whisper against you will not alter what has already been set in motion. 7 days. 7 days for the mountains to move, 7 days for the tables to turn, 7 days for the doors to open, for the tide to shift, for the sky to split wide and rain down the kind of blessings that make the doubters tremble. You must believe it. You must hold on to it with a grip so firm that no shadow of doubt can shake it loose. You must stand in the face of every past disappointment and declare that this time, this moment, this season will not pass you by. Do you feel it? The trembling beneath your feet, the stirring in the air, the quiet, steady promise weaving itself into every breath you take? That is the sound of change, the hum of destiny, the whisper of something greater than anything you have known. And it is coming for you, as sure as the rising of the sun, as sure as the turning of the earth, as sure as the love that has never abandoned you. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You have not been cast aside, nor have you been left to fend for yourself in the wilderness of your trials. Every tear, every sleepless night, every moment of silent suffering has been seen, has been counted, has been held in the hands of something far beyond what you can comprehend. And now the answer is moving. Now the response is taking shape. Now the promise is unfolding before your very eyes. Do not shrink from it. Do not let fear steal from you what is already yours. There will be voices both within and around you that will try to convince you that this is not real, that nothing can change in 7 days, that no power can undo in a moment what took years to break. But you must silence those voices. You must drown them in the unwavering belief that the same force that brought you this far is the same force that will carry you the rest of the way. Stand firm, hold steady. Lift your eyes from the ground where your sorrows once lay and fix them on the horizon that stretches before you, for it is not empty. It is not void of promise. It is not barren of hope. It is filled, overflowing, bursting with the light of a new season, with the sound of chains breaking, with the echo of doors swinging open, and it is all for you. The winds are shifting, the tide is turning. The road that once seemed impossible is clearing before you. It will not be long now. It will not be far away. The words that were once only whispers will soon be shouts of victory. The burdens that once seemed too heavy to bear will soon be lifted with the weight of a single breath. 7 days, that is all. 7 days for the world as you know it to change. 7 days for the impossible to become reality. 7 days for the night to turn to morning, for the sorrow to turn to joy, for the waiting to turn to rejoicing. There is a stirring in the deep, a movement in the unseen, a shift so profound it cannot be stopped. It is coming like a wave rising from the ocean, steady, unrelenting, powerful. You may not see it yet, may not know its shape, may not grasp its fullness, but it is on its way, and it carries with it the answers you have long awaited. It does not falter, does not hesitate, does not turn away. It moves toward you with the certainty of the stars, with the inevitability of the dawn, with the promise that what is written for you will not be erased. 7 days, the number lingers in the air like a melody waiting to be sung. It is not a suggestion, not a vague hope, not an idle whisper of possibility. It is a declaration, a promise etched into the very marrow of time itself. 7 days to shift what seemed unmovable. 7 days to rewrite what seemed permanent. Perhaps you are weary. Perhaps you have carried the weight of the waiting for so long that hope has become a foreign language to you, a tongue you once spoke fluently but have long since forgotten. Perhaps you have seen doors close so many times that you no longer knock, no longer reach for the handle, no longer believe they were ever meant to open for you in the first place. But listen to me now. The doors that have been locked will be unlocked. The paths that have been blocked will be cleared. What was delayed will be delivered, and what was lost will be returned with interest. Some will not believe it. Some will tell you that change takes years, that transformation is slow, that struggle is simply the way of things. But you do not serve the logic of the world. You do not answer to the timetables of men. There is a force greater than circumstance, a power beyond explanation, a hand that moves mountains in an instant, a will that cannot be challenged or denied. And that power is moving now, sweeping through the obstacles in your life, uprooting what does not belong, planting what is meant to grow. You will not recognize yourself when this is over. You will not recognize the life you step into when the dust settles. The heaviness you once carried will be a memory. The battles you once fought will be a story told from the other side. You will look back on these days of struggle, on these nights of unanswered questions, and you will understand why it had to be this way, why the waiting was necessary, why the breaking was part of the making, why the pain was never punishment but preparation. And when the change comes, it will not come quietly. It will not slip into your life unnoticed, as if by accident. No, it will make itself known. It will announce itself in ways you cannot ignore. It will move through your days with the force of a river breaking free from its dam, with the power of a voice long silenced finally being heard. You will see it in the faces of those who once doubted you, in the spaces that once felt empty but now overflow, in the joy that replaces sorrow like sunlight pushing through a storm. But do not be surprised when not everyone celebrates your rising. There are those who have grown comfortable with your struggle, who have built their confidence on your hardships, who have shaped their stories around your failures. They will not understand how you, of all people, have stepped into favor, into abundance, into the kind of breakthrough they never believed possible. They will whisper, they will question, they will wonder what magic has been worked in your favor. But pay them no mind. You do not owe explanations for your elevation. You do not owe apologies for the blessings that are yours. You must stand firm. You must not shrink yourself to fit into the spaces where you once felt small. You must not apologize for the light now shining in places where there was once only shadow. You must not let the voices of doubt drown out the truth that has already been spoken over your life. You were meant for this. You were destined for this. You have walked through the fire, and now it is time to rise from the ashes, unburned, unshaken, unbreakable. 7 days to witness the impossible become reality. 7 days to step into a season you once thought beyond your reach. 7 days to leave behind the weight, the fear, the struggle that once defined you. 7 days, not because you are lucky, not because you are favored by chance, but because it has been written this way, because the time has come, because the waiting has reached its end. The air is changing. The ground beneath you is shifting. You will wake up one morning and feel it before you see it, know it before you can explain it. The weight of uncertainty will lift. The questions that have kept you up at night will be answered, not in whispers, not in riddles, but in undeniable, unshakable, breathtaking clarity. And when the doors open, you must walk through them without hesitation. When the opportunities present themselves, you must take them without fear. When the blessings rain down, you must lift your hands to receive them without question. This is your time. This is your moment. This is the season that was prepared for you long before you even knew you needed it. Some will say it is coincidence. Some will say it is luck. But you will know better. You will know that this was always meant for you, that this was always part of the design, that the struggles of the past were not wasted, but were the very tools used to shape your future. You will know that every tear, every hardship, every lonely night was not in vain. You will know that you were never forgotten, never overlooked, never abandoned. And when you stand in the place that once seemed unreachable, when you look around at the life you once only dreamed of, you will understand. You will understand why the journey had to be what it was. You will understand why the doors that once stayed closed were not meant for you, why the people who walked away could not come with you, why the road was as long and winding as it was. But for now, you must simply believe. You must hold on to the promise that has been placed before you. You must prepare yourself, not for the struggle, but for the shift, not for the waiting, but for the walking into what is already yours. And when the seventh day arrives, you will know, you will see, you will stand in the light of a new beginning, and nothing will ever be the same again. And the air around you is alive with change. The world you once knew is shifting beneath your feet, not in destruction, but in preparation. What was once settled is now unsettled. What was once stagnant is now stirring. The silence you mistook for absence was, in truth, the deep breath before the unveiling. It was the gathering of unseen forces, the assembling of what was always meant to be. And now the waiting is almost over. Now the doors are groaning on their hinges, ready to swing wide. Now the chains are rattling in their final moments, trembling before they fall away forever. You have walked a long road, longer than you ever imagined. You have carried burdens you never spoke of, suffered losses that left you breathless. You have felt invisible in the presence of others' blessings, felt forgotten in the spaces where hope once lived. You have asked when, asked how, asked if the weight would ever lift, if the light would ever reach you, if the tide would ever turn in your favor. And for so long the answer seemed distant, seemed delayed, seemed as if it had been sent to someone else, as if you had been bypassed in the great unfolding of promise. But hear me now. What is coming for you is coming fast. What has been written for you is being revealed, not in whispers, not in shadows, but in the full brilliance of day. You will not have to chase it, will not have to plead for it, will not have to bend yourself to fit into places never meant to hold you. No, this change, this mighty, unstoppable change, is racing toward you with the force of destiny itself. You must be ready. You must stand firm. You must not let fear trick you into thinking that good things do not belong to you, that joy was made for others but not for you. You must not shrink yourself when the doors open, must not hesitate when the moment arrives. When the tide shifts in your favor, do not second guess it. Do not wonder if you are worthy. Do not search for the catch, for the trick, for the clause that says you cannot step fully into your season. There is no trick, there is no catch, there is only the unfolding of what was always meant to be yours. You have been tested, you have been tempered in the fire of hardship. You have been shaped in the waiting, refined in the struggle, made stronger in the silence. And now, that strength, that resilience, that unbreakable spirit forged in your darkest nights will carry you into the light. There will be those who do not understand your rising. There will be those who question how you, after all the loss, all the suffering, all the waiting, have stepped into something so magnificent. They will wonder if you deserve it, will whisper among themselves, trying to find a reason, an explanation, a way to make sense of your transformation. But do not be distracted by their murmurs. Do not waste your breath justifying what has been given to you. Those who could not see your struggle will not be able to grasp the fullness of your victory. Those who did not walk with you through the valley will not understand the weight of the mountaintop. You must not look back. You must not return to what no longer fits you, to what no longer feeds you, to what no longer belongs to you. When the doors open, walk through them without hesitation. When the path clears, step forward without doubt. The version of you that suffered, that struggled, that questioned whether this moment would ever come, That version of you has been laid to rest, and in its place stands someone new, someone whole, someone ready. You will not have to force it. You will not have to beg for it. You will not have to grasp at it like something that might slip through your fingers. No, this is certain. This is sure. This is as inevitable as the turning of the earth, as unshakable as the rising of the sun. It will find you where you stand, and when it does, it will not ask for permission to bless you. It will not seek validation from those who doubted you. It will not stop to check if you are prepared, for it knows you have already been prepared. The fire did not break you, it built you. The waiting did not diminish you, it refined you. The silence was never emptiness. It was the sound of something mighty being formed in the unseen. 7 days. 7 days for the heavens to open, for the winds to change, for the chains to break, for the doors to swing wide. 7 days for you to stand in a place you never thought you would stand, to see what you never thought you would see, to hold what you never thought would be placed in your hands. 7 days for the impossible to be made real, for the old to be made new, for the weary to rise with strength they did not know they had. Do not doubt it. Do not let the echoes of past disappointments make you question what is already set in motion. This is not a delayed promise, not a vague hope, not a dream that will fade with the morning light. This is real. This is happening. This is written in a language older than time, in a script that cannot be erased, in ink that cannot fade. And when it comes, when the change sweeps through your life like a mighty wind, when the weight lifts, when the joy overflows, do not forget the road you traveled. Do not forget the nights you thought you would not survive. Do not forget the moments you almost gave up. For those moments were the making of you. Those moments, painful as they were, shaped you into the person who is now ready to receive all that is coming. You will rise. You will walk forward. You will stand in the fullness of what was always meant for you, and nothing, not fear, not doubt, not even the weight of your past will be able to stop it. The waiting is over. The shift is here. The promise is unfolding before your very eyes. The shift is here, and nothing will stop it now. The winds have changed, the tides have turned, and the very air around you hums with the sound of transformation. What was broken is being mended. What was lost is being returned. What was once out of reach is now moving toward you with a force greater than anything you have ever known. The struggle you thought would last forever is crumbling beneath the weight of something new, something greater, something undeniable. The weight you have carried, the burdens you have shouldered in silence, the long nights spent questioning if things would ever change, none of it was in vain. Every tear you shed was a seed planted. Every heartbreak a chisel shaping you. Every moment of loneliness a space being prepared for something better than you ever imagined. You have not been forgotten, not overlooked, not cast aside. No, you have been in a season of preparation, being molded, being strengthened, being refined, so that when this moment arrived, you would be ready to receive it. And now the moment is here. It is pressing against the edges of your reality, waiting to flood into your life in ways you could not predict. It will come swiftly, without warning, without delay. It will not knock politely at your door, waiting for you to welcome it. No, it will break through, unannounced, undeniable, unstoppable. It will sweep through the ruins of your past, clearing away the remnants of doubt and fear, making space for what is to come. You will look in the mirror and not recognize the person staring back at you. For the version of you that lived in survival, that walked with the weight of struggle, will no longer exist. In its place will stand someone lighter, stronger, transformed. The scars will remain, but they will no longer tell stories of pain. They will speak of triumph, of resilience, of a battle fought and won. They will remind you not of what you lost, but of what you overcame. There will be those who do not understand. There will be those who question how you, after all the waiting, after all the struggle, have stepped into such abundance. They will whisper, they will wonder, they will try to make sense of what has happened. But you owe no explanations. You owe no justifications. Let them watch. Let them see. Let them witness the unfolding of a story that was never theirs to write. You must prepare yourself. You must open your hands to receive what is coming. You must clear the space in your heart, in your mind, in your life for what is about to arrive. Do not hold on to the things that belong to the past. Do not cling to the habits, the mindsets, the relationships that were never meant to follow you into this new season. Release what needs to be released so that when the blessings arrive, you have room to embrace them fully. And when the change comes, when the doors open, when the life you have been waiting for steps into your reality, you must walk boldly into it. You must not hesitate, must not second guess, must not shrink yourself out of fear that it is too good to be true. It is not too good. It is not a mistake. It is not a fleeting moment of luck. It is yours, meant for you, prepared for you, written for you long before you even knew how to ask for it. The struggles you faced did not break you, they built you. The nights you spent wondering if you would ever make it were not wasted, they strengthened you. The doors that close in your face, the opportunities that slip through your fingers, the moments of despair that nearly swallowed you whole. None of it was for nothing. It was all leading to this. Every delay was divine, every detour necessary, every setback a setup for what is unfolding. 7 days. 7 days to witness the impossible become reality. 7 days to step into something new, something better, something that will make every tear, every hardship, every moment of doubt fade into nothingness. 7 days to look back at the version of yourself that once felt forgotten and whisper, "It was always coming. It was always mine. The waiting is over. The shift is here. The promise is unfolding before your very eyes. And nothing, not fear, not doubt, not even the weight of your past will be able to stop it. The waiting has ended, the shift has begun, and what was once beyond your reach is now moving toward you with unstoppable force. The battles you fought, the nights you endured, the pain that once felt endless were not without purpose. They prepared you for this moment, for this transformation, for this season where everything changes in your favor. You will no longer carry the weight of what was, but instead step boldly into what is coming. Do not hesitate, do not doubt, do not shrink yourself in the presence of your blessings. What is yours cannot be denied, and what is written for you cannot be erased. 7 days stand between you and the life you have been waiting for. 7 days until the doors open, the chains break, and the impossible becomes real. Stand ready, stand strong, and when the moment comes, step forward without fear.